Yeah, Walmart, we launched on this company back in April. We made it a top pick in June, and this is actually our e-commerce top pick, just given all that they've done. And we pointed out since 2015, these guys have spent more than $200 billion in cumulative CapEx spend. We think they basically caught up to Amazon now over this past decade. It's essentially taken that long, but you've got the e-commerce business in the US almost at about $100 billion annual run rate. And that's actually starting to turn profitable now. So you're seeing all these levers come into play where...
What is Amazon's run rate?
Significantly higher.
That's what I thought.
It's not disclosed, but if you could back into it, there's some estimates that the annual GMV of all the sales that they push through is in the 500 billion plus type range.
The phrase is agentic commerce. Help me understand what that is and sort of what Walmart is saying it's going to deploy here across its website.
Great question. We spent a lot of time working on this about 3 months ago, but it's somewhat foreign to us, right? And so we dove into it, and it's essentially you could have a software or a synthetic agent that researches products, finds products for you, and could essentially buy it on your behalf. So you're essentially going
You're
from...
terrified, aren't you? If you've got kids, you should be terrified.
What's going to show up at the front step, yeah.
Yeah, you essentially go from an assistant to an agent who knows your preferences, has all your credit card information, and could make purchases on your behalf if you give it that functionality. And just think about things like your weekly grocery run. Something really easy. They know what 20, 40 items you buy. They could do it. Say, hey, Dave, do you want to do your weekly grocery order? Hit yes and go for it. There's also some other use cases that Walmart's starting to talk about like a solution based of, I've got my kid's birthday party. What do I need? There's going to be 20 kids there. Make me gift baskets, get me food, all these things.
There's a theme, like
figure
it out,
help
right?
you do that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of fascinating. I think about when you're on Amazon and they're like, hey, do you want to just do one purchase or do you want to set it up? So it's like taking this all to the next level to some extent. Even when we do grocery shopping, it's like a list comes up because we do it online. And it's like, this is just taking this to another level?
Pretty much, but it also has this discovery angle of, we saw this ChatGPT, they have this overnight new product of things that they think you would like as a recap in the morning. So certain things like that, we could see products being pushed to you or things that you've searched for in the past and, hey, this could be a nice complementary product for your recent purchase. And now you'll basically have the ability to put all of that product from Walmart into that summary, and you have a quick, easy buy, instant checkout button. And then this could unlock a lot of e-commerce growth still, even on top of that $100 billion. So there's no great way to size this. And what I've been telling investors when I get asked to size this is, Walmart's grown the U.S. e-commerce business about 15% year over year for each of the last 12 quarters. There was a time when Amazon did that north of 20% for years. Maybe we just have this double-digit 20% growth in perpetuity for Walmart, and that could be a big lever for them.
Carol, noting that you raised the specter of Walmart joining this $1 trillion market cap club, so your price target 115, as Carol said, the bull case is 135, I think.
Correct, yeah.
How would they get there? So this is like rare air or rare company in the sense that when I think of those $1 trillion plus companies, most of them are tech companies. They're not retailers like Walmart.
Right, yeah, it's a very elite group of 10 plus companies that have gotten there. But you've seen a very high multiple for Walmart shares. Now, I cover the retail space. You might have companies 10 to 20 times earnings.
This is 43, current PE, and a forward PE of almost 42.
Yeah, and what's really changed that is you've had these alternative and accretive business lines come in. So the membership, the marketplace, advertising. You essentially had Walmart move the needle where you've got double-digit earnings growth potential here. The total company has about a 4.5% operating margin. That could easily go to 6%. U.S. could be 7 to 8%. So it's all these accretive businesses that are turning on, and they're essentially 20% of the company's operating profit, but they're the highest margin, they're the fastest growing. One big question we have, and Walmart needs to address this, is with all this agentic shopping, what happens to the digital advertising businesses of these companies? So Walmart's at about a $5 billion run rate. Amazon 65 billion. Why do you need to serve these sponsored ads if an agent is going to shop on your behalf? And they can circumvent
Carol,
those.
what you want to buy.
That just freaks the heck out of me. Having said that, I don't want anybody to know what I'm buying. But we've also talked with people about AI, that at some point, maybe you do have ads to some extent. Like you've got to figure out how we're going to pay. What's the revenue stream? Or are we all paying to make use of it? And when we talk about agentic AI, isn't everybody going to be on it? So Amazon maybe will have some collaboration,
Right.
in terms of feeding into it. So is this an assumption that Walmart owns this space for a long time on its own? But shouldn't we assume this is the new search engine?
Yeah.
And so everybody's going to be on it.
It seems like this will broaden out, but there will be a priority list of who they point product to, so that
because they pay for it?
yeah, it seems like these ChatGPTs, the Perplexity with their browsers, they'll be the gateway to spending, and they'll essentially charge a take rate or facilitation fee.
Yeah.
No one knows the economics of this Walmart partnership yet, but maybe
Nobody knows the economics of any of these
That's
partnerships.
very true.
Everybody
Right, that
says
is
we've
true.
got this deal, right? And we're going to do this. But anyway,
right.
forgive me.
There could be 100 basis point, 200 basis point take rate. It's kind of up in the air, but that'll point you to Walmart. They'll take a slim margin on that product, and then on that advertising piece, we think at some point Walmart, if you've got these grocery brands like say a cereal company, they want to be in that 10, 20, 30 items you're getting every week. Maybe they have to pay a slotting fee, and that could offset some of the ChatGPT marketplace facilitation fee that Walmart's paying. So essentially, you would have these grocery brands pay to be in your weekly basket for your replenishment type order.
David Bellinger, let me ask you just about the timeline for all of this. So you point out in your note this is exploratory at this point, but the announcement came out with a lot of splash yesterday, and there's a lot of excitement surrounding it, obviously, clearly when you look at the stock price. Your sense of the timetable, how quickly this is going to be something that Carol or I or you could take advantage of when you go shopping at Walmart?
When we started looking at this, speaking to experts, the pace of adoption and escalation was so rapid, it was starting to scare a lot of retailers. And they had to make the shift of what do we do, start to build up their product catalogs, because that feeds into these LLMs. So we think this could be a small piece of this year's holiday sales. Maybe it's 1 or 2% of transactions. But then what does it go to next year? Could it be 10%, 20%?
Right.
Like that? That's sort of the blue sky scenario.
Just 20 seconds. Does this mean that eventually they don't need their own website because people are going to be buying through ChatGPT or something else just quickly?
Not necessarily. 'Cause
Okay.
you've got these big marketplaces. Maybe people still go there directly, but
Okay.
it looks like these new sources are becoming a big area of traffic and referral traffic to Walmart.com.
How quickly does Walmart? Oh, go.
No, I was
No,
just
you
gonna
go.
say, my great status is Paul Sweeney's always said he wants to be a Walmart greeter in his retirement. It seems
He
like this is
doesn't.
definitely the death knell on that. Those
Does
jobs will
always
not-
say
yeah.
that, doesn't he? Hey, how quickly, just 10 seconds, does Walmart get to $1 trillion in your view?
We're on our way. It's got to be about $125 stock price. Our upside target, like you said, is $135. So it could happen relatively soon, but we'll see what the next steps are.